We're back with the Screen Team. It's our special Friday the 13th edition of the show, which we're doing in the middle of the summer, but,
it's camping season.
It's camping season. You're right, man. So
you got to kind of watch out for those crazy guys in hockey masks out there.
That's right, man. That's right. So if you're out camping, be extra careful for a big, what is he, 6'5"?
I think he's about 6'4", or so. He's huge.
Yeah, huge guy. Number 4. Let's talk about this one. What is this one called?
This would be the final chapter, which was supposed...
Which we know is not true.
Exactly. Back then, I really don't know why they decided to keep it going, other than maybe just the fan base was so big. But
yeah,
all good things must come to an end, but in this case, apparently not.
So what is the basic story of this one? Obviously, with the previous one, number 3, we're still in wooded area. We've got a group of people who are going to a cabin for the weekend. Jason comes, messes everything all up. What's going on in number 4?
Basically the same thing. People take this place over, Camp Crystal Lake. Each period, someone takes over Camp Crystal Lake. They try to get rid of the name, get rid of the whole shtick, because everybody knows who buys it or rents it, leases it, whatever. They know the story, they know the legends. Nobody believes it, and then they're like, oh, they rename it. I can't remember what they renamed it in part 4, but now you have a family that's moved in close to it. Okay, and it's a mother, her teenage daughter, and her preteen son, which is played by Corey Feldman.
He was like in everything in the 80s, wasn't he?
His character was Tommy.
Okay.
Now, Tommy liked spooky stuff, too. He liked the masks and all that kind of stuff. And he's just a kid, just kind of a little prankster himself, but he's just a kid. Well, Jason shows up. Everybody's on his turf, and they're ticking him off. And he's, no, I'm not having this.
Yeah.
Well, long story short, at the end of it, Tommy kills him.
The little Feldman, right?
Yes. Feldman sees his family being attacked, notices everybody else is dead, and he quickly puts the whole thing together, and he goes upstairs, shaves his head, comes downstairs just in the nick of time, and gets Jason's attention away from his sister.
Yeah.
And of course he has a machete. So as soon as Jason drops his attention to the sister, she does something, she kind of gets his attention back. Well, now Tommy gets him and hits him and
takes care of business.
Yeah, takes care of business.
So you being a Friday the 13th fan, what was your thoughts when you saw little teenage Corey Feldman take out your superhero, basically?
Well, back then, I wasn't so much of a fan as I am now. I was kind of like, oh, finally. Somebody's finally taking out this big giant goon.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I picked him is because along comes Freddy Krueger, and then they start making fun of Jason back and forth. I'm like, I don't know, wait a second here. Hang on. I like Jason more than I do Freddy.
Yeah.
And Michael Myers and all those other guys. That's where the whole, hey, wait a minute, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, man, they killed him. Obviously, they didn't. So when they bring the franchise back, I'm like, okay, cool. Now we can see Jason in action again. But yeah, they think he's dead. Of course, he's laying there on the ground and his fingers start moving. Tommy loses it. He freaks out. He grabs a machete. He just starts chopping.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the next day, everybody wakes up and they.
That's what I would do, to be honest with you. I would go all gangster on him and take him out.
Right. You're going to kill my. Oh yeah, and apparently he chopped him to 1,000,000 pieces.
So let's talk about the gore in this one. How does this one rank as far as some of the killing scenes and stuff?
Just about like the other ones. I mean, you got to remember too. It was in the 80s. People were still experimenting with the gore and the shock and all that stuff. Blood's being used, just tons of blood being thrown at you. Obviously, nobody can bleed that much.
Yeah.
But it's the makeup, through each series and each one of these horror movies, the makeup gets just a little bit better than the other stuff.
Yeah.
They get started like in animatronics where the face is moving and stuff like that. The one scene where he he finally he puts the machete between his eyes, the final shot, and he's sliding down the thing, and you kind of see the face kind of moving as he's sliding down the floor on this machete. And that was pretty dang cool. In its time, that was awesome. Tom Savini was he's the makeup guy back then, which he's the guy that everybody's learned from now. Tom Savini did a lot of he did all, as far as I know, he did all the makeup for the Friday the 13th characters. He did all the makeup for all the Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Cool.
I mean, he was a big time, still is.
Yeah.
That was all his creation. It's pretty dang neat. I mean, he comes up with all this stuff and builds an entire horror genre around his makeup. It's pretty neat.
So if there's a horror fan out there and they haven't checked out part 4 yet, would you say definitely give it a go?
You have to, because you see part 3, that's the hockey mask. That's the birth of the hockey mask. Okay, then you get into part 4 because this is, well, the title, final chapter.
Yeah.
You have to see it. And then skip over 5 and you go into 6. Jason Lives. It's all in the title. Like, oh, he's back. Which
we'll get into coming up after the break. Remember, Screen Team is all brought to you by the fine folks over at Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us. Also, Fearless Social and Poplar Bluff Drywall. And remember, you can check out the Screen Team on Facebook. We're on Twitter and YouTube. And we have our own website at ScreenTeamPB.com. We'll be back with our final chapter of Friday the 13th coming at you next right here on KWOC.